G Prime, really nice job there. G Prime recognized his teammate in so much trouble and ended up saving
Uh-oh.
Elleren's life.
Look at bot lane. Play again's available.
Ooh, who do we have Hearthstoning? Looks like J-Show and G Prime are up, but only Elleren's come back to defend this. JTR could play again and be able to make something happen here. We'll have to see.
Now, Emerald Wind is up, so I don't think play again at this point would be very wise. You'd be wasting a long cooldown just to be able to bait out another long cooldown. 20s have been picked up, and at this point, I mean, really looking at the damage, the amount of damage Vikings have been able to do structurally is pretty well matched by Cold Dam on the Falstad.
Yeah, the globals are really starting to work out for Misfit Island. They're down just half a level going into level 20. Now both 20s picked up. Oh, and we have a bush party. Is DB Smiley invited? Elleren's not in the bush. He might have given that away. Baylog goes down immediately at low health. Great Divine Blessed Shield goes out. Kills DB Smiley. Great job there. They may be able... Misfit Island may be able to take this boss in an invade from Misplaced Ults.
Oh, but Misplaced Ults are going up toward the top boss. They're like, all right, you can have yours, but we're going to take... you can have ours, but we're going to take yours.
Yeah, will they be able to get there in time, though? Falstad's got the epic... does Falstad... Yes, he has epic mount. So he'll be able to fly up there in just 2 seconds, and I think wisely, Misplaced Ults goes ahead and backs off of this. There's not imminent pressure. They can just defend this, and they'll still be ahead. I think that's a reasonable decision to make.
I agree. I think this is going to be the better call. And with everybody posturing in the bottom lane by Misfit Island, ultimately this is going to be, I think, at least the bottom keep going down. This definitely could be bottom keep. And I think we're going to finally see play again here as JTR is posturing toward the bot to defend boss as well.
Yep. Falstad, Koldam picking up the rest of this. Oh, great Divine Shield, or Divine Storm goes in. So much divinity here for Misfit Island. Wow. It's Divine Global over here, but it's working out for them. They take out only a Viking there. Thought they got a little bit more out of that, but it's hard to see under all these health bars. So
yeah, everything was pretty divine there.
Yeah, indeed. This game is divine. In fact, Elleren gonna actually get caught out on the Hearthstone and annihilated by Sheepfu.
And that's a long cooldown too. Play again is available, and I mean this. At this point, they could combo this and get another kill or two. They can get top boss, which is where Misfit Island's headed at the moment, and they're going to see this on the map. If they can combo 1 or 2 more kills, this is game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is now a tense situation for Misfit Island. Ashiteru actually goes in, gets the boss vision, so we'll see a full 5-on-4 fight in the favor of Misplaced Ults. A little bit of crowd control used, but Flailing Swipe with those multiple charges is already ready to knock everybody off this point. Just kidding, it just got burned. 25 seconds. Great Expulsion. Doesn't quite cover the button. G Prime's able to stall it out a little bit more. Lurking Arm, though, so much boss control, is going to end up getting multiple kills, and this is 4 heroes down. Uther will redeem and be able to come back. Brightwing will come back, but their big damage here in Genji and in Johanna are gone. I think this might be game.
I think this could be as well. You know, this is one of the Vikings are down right now, and it is a little bit more of an important one, you know, in terms of the damage. But ultimately, this is all full defense here. Wailing Arrow comes out. Divine Storm has been used as well. Elleren taking a ton of damage is going to have to Emerald win. Is it enough? It is going to be able to save Elleren. But already, boss is on the core. Great route onto Cold Dam. And Expulsion Zone, throwing everybody out of the way. And GG's already in the chat. Smiley's going to get gusted away, but it's not going to be enough. Boss is going to secure the core. 1-1 is the score line.
Fantastic composition, execution, and just overall game plan there by Misplaced Ults. That is the force that Misfit Island is going to have to deal with for the rest of this series. A fantastic showing. And that was Misfit Island's map choice. So we'll have to see what they have up their sleeve now that they have the choice. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, welcome to Game 3 of the Division C Finals between Misplaced Ults and Misfit Island. We saw a fantastically executed Vikings composition from Misplaced Ults in that last game, and I know you have something to say about that. Joining me once again is Rory. What do you have to say about that last game?
Oh, man, 3 words for you. The Lost Vikings. Just JTR was always keeping his team well ahead in XP. I mean, if I remember correctly, he had over 18,000 XP contributed throughout that match, which is just, I mean, it's massive. And he was able to keep his team always ahead, despite being lower in kills, always ahead on that XP, and was able to get them those talent advantages to be able to take those 4v5 fights where ultimately the comp of Greymane, Zarya, and Sylvanas were able to get a lot of value either out of pushing and split lanes or taking those fights and getting trade kills. And I mean, honestly, that whole match was kind of like a game of CSGO where it didn't matter if you won the team fights, it mattered if you got the amount of trade kills you needed so Vikings could do the work.
Absolutely. Wow, interesting choice here. Diablo banned out. So this was Misfit Island was able to pick. They chose first pick. Misplaced Ults opted for the Infernal Shrine, so we've immediately switched up the banning. Wow, they get rid of their own Stukov. I'm surprised there.
You know, Infernal Shrines is the bread and butter of Misplaced Ults. They've played this map so many times, and they've only lost it once throughout the entire regular season, throughout the entirety of playoffs, and it's usually banned out against them. That being said, they've shown the power of Stukov, they've shown the power of Diablo on this map, and they have higher priority here. Kael'thas and a Nubarak.
Ooh, I like it. Chermaka has been waiting to break out his Disco Inferno that he is going to bring out to Misfit Island. And Anubarak, guess it's on a first pick, first ban basis for Misplaced Ults, and they have picked him up here.
I love this choice too because they've had so much priority on supports earlier in the series. First 2 maps always first picking Stukov, which, don't be wrong, Smiley has done really, really amazing work on, but they've missed out on being able to have Chermaka being on his patented KT Kael'thas. KT is now Kel'Thuzad. But ultimately, I mean, Chermaka is sorry for my language, so freaking good at this hero, especially when you pair it with a Nubarak who you're going to have just a huge CC train off of. And, I mean, it's going to be pretty brutal to play against. And on the other side of things, Dahaka seeing his first bit of light here as he's been banned out every previous map.
Yeah, he's had to burrow and go hide and go play some co-op in StarCraft 2. But he will now be burrowing into this match, along with Greymane once again, making a return over to the Misfit Island side. And then the Uther picked up, seeming to be a very critical part of any Misfit Island composition.
Yeah, they really like the amount of CC that he brings and then that burst healing. They can supplement any sort of sustain that they need later on in the draft with other healers or other even pseudo supports. And they put a lot of reliability into Uther, just honestly because Ellerin is such a strong healer on Uther.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been doing really a solid job on it so far. But it just didn't quite work out for him last game, even though he played, again, very, very well. Falstad going to be the ban for Misplaced Ults, so they're not going to try and counter the Dahaka pickup there. They just don't want to go down 2 globals to none, which is a reasonable strategy, actually. It works out. Ooh, Malthael. You know what that means.
I tell you what, man.
Are we gonna see it?
I think we're gonna see it.
Oh man, we'll keep the audience in suspense. The people here who've kept up on the meta should know what we're talking about, but we'll have to see.
I'm hoping, man. I'm friggin' hoping. They haven't picked up Ariel, which is kind of like the patented healer you want with that comp, but Uther's just, I think, more of a comfort pick. So if they do end up going into that choice, it's going to be pretty strong with their comp because they've taken away a lot of that percentage-based damage that can counter it out so hard. But on the other side of things, Rhaegar and Lunara.
Now, I know Rhaegar from DB Smiley. DB Smiley plays a wonderful, wonderful Rhaegar. Great Ancestrals. Great use of Rhaegar's camp clear and lane clear to work just best for support, best in slot. Does really good job at being able to split off, do his own thing, and still be able to make a huge impact in fights. And Lunara, a strong late game hero, and 2 range damage dealers so far for Misplaced Ults.
Yeah, I definitely see a frontliner coming out as the last choice for Misplaced Ults. Probably a Sonya, maybe a Tyrael. I don't see Tyrael being as pertinent here, but Sonya would be really strong just to be able to deal with that presence of Dahaka and Greymane, and to have somebody be able to absorb some of those tongues. I know I don't like when Dahaka licks me, so I doubt the reindeer or the Blood Elf Mage would like it very much.
Yeah, I definitely like Sonya as a pickup here. As when we were playing, that would be an absolute recommendation from us. We did not get to see the Garrosh taken, but we do get to see just equally fun heroes and slightly more fun to play against. Tyrande and Zarya. I like it. I like it a lot just because they're such fun heroes, and I play both of them, so I'm biased. What can I say?
Yeah, Tyrande's seen quite a bit of resurgence, and I got to attribute it to the fact that there was one HGC game about a week and a half ago that was played and ultimately lost by a pro team, and they played Tyrande on it with Owl build, and now everybody wants to play Tyrande with Owl build. It takes a lot to be able to execute this hero effectively, and with Zarya and Dahaka being 2 almost pseudo tanks, I mean, you really got to be able to land your positioning.
Yeah, the Tyrande follow-up Lunar Flares are going to have to be absolutely on point because there's not great initiation. Dahaka has to land a tongue, which is inconsistent even for the best of players, and Uther's stun is really short to be able to capitalize on. And so they've got to chain these stuns together just correctly. Ooh, we did get a Tyrael. I like it.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. I'll agree with you. 3 heroes for Misplaced Ults don't need the mobility, but let me finish on Tyrande real quick. I'm going to be interested to see how Misfit Island is able to execute this blow-up comp style with Greymane and Tyrande.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot about just landing those flares, getting that mark out, and trying to pour the damage onto one target.
Yeah. Let's talk about JTR on Tyrael through this loading screen. How is this going to work out?
So JTR is the like almost permaflex player for Misplaced Ults. He's had a lot of variety on a lot of different heroes. You can see, very prominent on Vikings. We've gotten to see him on ETC, so he's familiar with that tanking role. And honestly, at this point, I think this is more about getting into the backline, getting those engagements that enable KT and Lunara to get up and deal the damage. I don't think we're going to see Sank here. I think we're going to see a Judgment.
All right. Well, we will have to see what the choices are. I'm excited, though. We do see the Owl for Tyrande. Misfit Island, though. They're tied up 1-1. We are ready to go here. On the right side of Infernal Shrines, we have Koldam on Tyrande, the very, very critical linchpin of this composition. J-Show taunting on Dahaka. Ashiteru and Greymane again. G-Prime on Zarya, and Ellerin on Uther.
And getting prepped for the top lane push in the blue trunks, we've got Sheep Fu on Lunara, Jermaka on his favorite Kael'thas, Lincoln Park getting to man that new Anubarak this time around, DB Smiley on Rhaegar, and JTR on that critical Tyrael pick.
Oh, I love it. The Sentinel goes out early from Koldam, and they see that they're not in the middle lane, so Misfit Island was able to rotate up quite effectively, and they won't. They'll actually prevent this. Just kidding. Tower goes down. Feels bad.
Yeah, that living bomb doing a lot of damage onto Koldam as well, as he's forced to rotate up next to the tower. Mostly out of, I think, he just thought that the glowing red part was pretty. I mean, he didn't really need to be there. I think he liked the color.
I mean, the pretty red circle is always what entices me. I guess that's why we lost, though. Am I right?
Could be. I mean, you never know.
Feels bad.
I gotta be honest though, KT when executed well is just he's so insane.
Oh, it's wonderful.
And so I'm really looking forward to seeing how Jermaka is able to isolate some of these targets and pour the damage on to get that blow up going. I'm almost positive we're gonna see a D shield here for the Greymane.
Indeed. I have, we as a team, Gunny plays an absolutely incredible Kael'thas, and he is a huge linchpin during our season. And I know just the power of Kael'thas on this map, and I'm looking forward to Sarmaka really maxing out the value here.
Absolutely. A good living bomb on Ashitero, but there we go. G Prime getting those shields going, but that is going to be living bomb spread, and with G Prime kind of low on HP, they're going to have to go into this first shrine phase in the mid lane with a little bit of lower HP and mana. And JTR is getting collapse spawn in the top lane, but he's going to be able to back away and tap before coming down onto the shrine. And it is going to be an Arcane Punisher as the first one. And with a small XP lead going over to Misplaced Ults, you can definitely see them trying to get in on this quicker.
Yeah, indeed. I want to give a shout out real quick before the starts to Coldam. Working that solo lane Tyrande can work very well because of the auto attack self-sustain against any other melee hero. So really interesting pickups on that so far. But here comes a fight now that 4s are up.
Now, talk to me about Ranger build.
We'll talk as soon as this fight finishes up. This is getting very intense on this Punisher. JTR and Linkin Park go in on G Prime. G Prime is in a lot of trouble, but the double support going to not quite be enough. We'll get a counter kill on a JTR as he goes in for the explosion. Does not have even in death, so he'll not be able to guarantee that counter kill. So 1 kill over to either side.
I like that. I think that's a really solid trade, being the fact that G Prime's such a pivotal part of this combo. And with a pretty good early tongue that J-Show was able to land, they really made the best out of that situation, but just so much clear on the Arcane Punisher. I mean, right here is really where they had the opportunity to make the best out of the situation by limiting the amount of damage that can go down onto these structures.
Yeah, Coldam will be actually incredibly critical. That 4-second vulnerability from Tyrande is going to melt the Punisher with 4 towers. We can even see only 1 tower went down during that section, and that was barely taken out at the end. Really solid defense, even while Dahaka was off soaking in the side lane. So really well done there by Misfit Island.
Absolutely. That being said, though, this mid lane, the wall almost down now, is going to be pretty wide open. And it looks like both teams are just content clearing up the camps, getting ready to go. Smiley, once again, just so good on that Rhaegar, clearing up camps, doing that jungling. And Coldam getting a little bit cheeky with those invulnerabilities and those owls is up to 10 already. So you're going to be able to see them start cleaving a little bit further. I'm excited to see where he goes at 13, if he's going to get the reduction and try to just land those across the map, because you can at some point get up to where you're almost one-shotting a Lunara. So, I mean, I'm excited to see where he goes in the long term.
Yeah, the birds of prey, as we call them, are going to be hunting that Lunara venison for the rest of this game, I'm almost certain. Ranger build allows for such a burst of damage because of how hard those sentinels hit, especially with Tyrande's trait. If you're able to drop the DEW combo, you can knock out 2/3 of pretty much anybody's health and even half of Tank's health. I mean, it's huge. And then you have Greymane just to finish off the rest of kill like it's nothing. It's incredibly powerful in being able to pick up these kills without needing an entire team of collapse. So, really powerful if you can stack those Rangers early, which Coldam is doing.
Absolutely. And do you think we're going to see a Cursed Bullet coming out, or do you think we're going to see Go for the Throat?
I'm pretty sure we'll see Cursed Bullet here with a double tank out. It'll also be the front end of the burst necessary. It'll do pretty much as much damage as Go for the Throat in most cases. So I think that's what we'll see here, and the cooldown difference is a huge part of that.
Yeah, I think at this point a real case could be made for both of them. I like Curse Bullet here because, like you said, it makes tanks more susceptible to that initial combo. The only thing is, though, is you need something to be able to finish off, both Shifu and Sarmaka to be able to make those Ancestrals miss. And I think that's where Go for the Throat could be a little bit more beneficial. But as we see both teams just kind of collapsing onto the points here, JTR and Linkin Park both going in the back. Greymane quite a bit of trouble here as Ashitiru is forced to go back. Good cleanse out onto Linkin Park.
That was a fantastic cleanse.
Absolutely. Everybody's going to be able to back away, just kind of reset. Now we've got a full 5-on-5 here. as we have a huge amount of damage coming out from those living bombs spread. Ellerin just at a fraction of health. He's got to back away. G-Prime's almost at full energy, and with Feel the Heat, I believe that's what he picked up. No, he went Together We Are Strong, so that amount of damage that he should be able to be doing is not going to really amount to as much. JTR is forced to back away as well, and 27 to 21 in terms of the skeletal minions, but ultimately, all it takes is just a couple of good combos from Sturmaka, and he's going to be pouring on that damage as well. 35 now for Misfit Island, and JTR going to go down, but that is a huge amount of damage that he could do in that explosion, and it's going to secure a kill onto Zarya, but the Mortal Punisher going to be going over to Misfit Island.
What a scrappy fight throughout that entire time. Both teams keeping it close, being able to reinforce with a tap, come back in, and make a fight happen. And it ultimately resulted just slightly in the favor of Misfit Island. Wow. Let's take a look at that damage. Koldam really, with that Punisher, almost killed Sturmaka from behind their own fort. Really, really powerful stuff.
So he's already at 19 stacks, so I mean the Rangers are going to start cleaving as well. I believe you're hitting 3 targets at this point, and I mean there you go, hitting 2 right there. He's going to be able to get to 21. Darnage and Archery as well picked up, and that's going to be extra bonus damage coming out for each subsequent auto attack from Tyrande. So with a combination of Starfall, you're really looking at trying to shell out a lot of damage onto one target. I'm really enjoying this type of comp from Misfit Island. It's showing that they have a lot of versatility, and especially with Koldam. I mean, he is like I said, his name implies it. He's cold, and he's a damn good player.
Indeed. Our Koldam better get his damn booty out of there, because he's going to get collapsed upon, but a great Sentinel again keeps his vision up and prevents him from getting collapsed on. So nice job there.
Absolutely. A good Tyrande always prioritizes vision over getting owl stacks, but at this point, you're seeing Koldam being able to get both.
Yeah, it's working out so well for him, and I think he'll absolutely, with the amount of stacks he's got so far, I absolutely think he'll be going for that cooldown reduction at 13, but we'll have to see as camps are getting picked up across this map.
Absolutely. Curse Bullet did land on a JTR in the mid lane as well, forced him to tap, and we've got a Shrine going to be coming up here in about a minute, so that's definitely a very bad cooldown to have down in terms of the tap. Good Starfall coming down as well is going to secure the invade camp steal in the bot lane, and ultimately, I mean, the wall's already down, fort's already down in the bot lane. This camp's not going to really do much, but it's really good in terms of defense because it prevents Misplaced Ults from getting a lot of split lane pressure, because next Shrine is in the top lane.
Yeah,
Man,
I think
that was good timing.
Yeah, it sure was. Fantastic caster preparation there. Keep track of those cooldowns. It's just important for your casters as your players. I think that was a really good invade with the expulsion zone, able to take that on 2v3. Fantastic
Absolutely.
job.
GTR is forced to back up in the top lane as well, as everybody's just kind of content, posturing, getting ready. This Shrine has not been activated yet, but it is going to be activated by Koldam at this point. But but now JTR has had time to get back, and this is 13 to 12 advantage in favor of Misfit Island. That's that power of that global. Lincoln Park going to get tongued and comboed, and a massive amount of damage is going to force an Ancestral out onto Lincoln Park. Expulsion Zone as well, going to zone out JTR. But here we go. We've got Cocoon popped. J-Show's tempting to break out, but Ellerin up in that front line is taking a ton of damage. That's going to be a kill onto JTR, but here comes the explosion. It's going to secure another kill onto, Ellerin, and a lot of damage down to Koldam, and actually Terra's going to zone them both away. G-Prime and J-Show up at the front doing tank damage, and that's going to secure 2 more kills onto Lincoln Park and DB Smiley, and a good explosion's going to spread from Aishiteru to G-Prime as well, but I mean, that's just a huge amount of return kill value off of the death of Ellerin.
Indeed, that fight was so back and forth, starting with the Ancestral and following up with the constant dives onto Tyrael and G-Prime. Everybody at some point was just so low on health, and it ultimately just tipped in favor of Misfit Island. Really, really good fight there so far. As you said, Misplaced Ults only lost once on this map. Will this be number 2 as they're down 1 level now?
Just as a little side note, I looked at how much damage Tyrande had before going into that fight. Throughout that entire fight, That was over 7,000 damage done by just Tyrande throughout that whole engagement. That was the combo, that was the Owls, and right now 31 Ranger stacks as well, as we've got, again, a collapse onto Lunara as as she attempts to invade in that bottom bruiser, or bottom siege anyway.
Yeah, looks like everybody but Kuldam to... Oop, bye, Kuldam. Nice knowing you.
That's gone. Yep.
Yep. Let's sit here and watch the explosion. Oh, this gravity lapse. Starfall gets burned. That's completely ineffectual, unfortunately. That's an 80-second cooldown. Gone. Don't want to death rattle those ults too hard if you're going to be up before they're off cooldown again.
I think this is going to be a full collapse coming down on the mid lane as Misfit Island is in a little bit of a bad spot. Phoenix goes down as well. Good tongue onto Sermaka. J-Show is forcing out that Ancestral, but here we go. D-Shield's already out. Ellerin taking a ton of damage. Those poisons and bomb doing just tons of work. Aishuteru's going to shortly fall as well. J-Show getting collapsed upon. He's going to have that little bit of armor as well. G-Prime's going to help to shield him, but it's not going to be enough. I think after this second health pool of J-Show is down, that's going to be another kill. Good tongue as well, and Ranger coming out. Going to do some damage, but ultimately that's going to be a 3 for 0 as we've got Cocoon now back online, going to be used on a G-Prime. God, that's
adventurous.
Perfect.
Oh, it really is. It's working out so well. Sanctification gets pulled to try and help secure the kill on a G-Prime, and it does work out. Great job there on the coordination to finish off that kill, and that pick-off on Tyrande was so critical to start even before that big team fight broke out, because Misfit Island lost vision. They lost the ability to know where misplaced ults were for the time, and they got collapsed on for it. And so that pick was crucial to the victory in that fight.
Absolutely, and we have 16 to 16 now at this point. A good combo onto JTR, but ultimately it's not going to net anything. Good Owl. That was 20% HP on the Smiley, as that Owl was able to hit, and I mean there we go. We're up to 37 stacks on that Ranger. It's going to start chunking now, and with everybody back online for both teams, the Shrine's popping up here. Just a second. Everybody's going to start getting some of that pressure back on the map, and get ready for this next Shrine, which is going to be Mortar once again.
Yep, indeed. These Owls are hitting for over 650 a shot now, according to all of the quest math and the damage math, and that's only going to scale very, very quickly, as we do have that Empower cooldown picked up at level 13, so really going to be on the shoulders of Kuldam to deal so much poke damage against this kind of comp.
Absolutely. JTR doing a good job with that holy ground zoning out. Burrow's coming down as well, as J-Show is a little bit caught out. Huge amount of CC is going to burn not only his trait, adaptation, and the D-Shield as well. Good Cocoon coming down as well. It's going to trap out Aishuteru. Huge amount of damage coming out as Lunara and Sermaka do a ton of damage. And I think this is going to be a full backup call from Misfit Island.
Yeah, they do have their fountain available, so they can tap, come back in, although they will be giving up most of the Punisher, as 28 skeletons have been picked up by Misplaced Ults. This fight continues on. Ooh, 3-man Sentinel. Might that be enough? Shifu gets very low. Good peel by Linkin Park as Aishuteru gets... Ooh, good dive out of the Flame Strike. DB Smiley now goes down. Look at these plays this league is making here. These teams are fantastic. So good.
Just so much preparation going into this finals, and I mean, this is probably the least effective Punisher on the least effective lane at this point. Not in general for this map, but just for this particular situation. So a very solid job turning around and getting that kill onto DB Smiley, and trying to limit how much we could really see Misplaced Ults kind of pile on.
Yeah, indeed. I want to just realize Division C all year has called themselves Division Clown Fiesta, and while some of the games have been a little bit more clown than others, these teams here are showing they are here for business, and it is a pleasure watching them. So thank you. Mid-game shout-out to these teams for such a great series so far, and what'll be at least this game and some more than likely.
Yep, and we've got a good invade here as JTR zones out a good portion of Misfit Island, and a huge amount of damage coming out from that Flame Strike as well. And I do want to just point out, we do have a full Verdant Spheres pickup here, and oh, just a massive amount of damage. Good D shield as well. Sanctification's gonna be popped, and here we go. The collapse down onto Ellerin and Ashiteru. G Prime at full energy though is just pouring on the damage. JTR is gonna be going down, and that's gonna be shortly followed by him attempting to just get a ton of damage down on Ashiteru. And that's going to be a death onto Greymane as well. And a good 1-for-1 trade. And JTR just really exercising that death form. And, I mean, at this point, I think it's going to come down to just who makes the biggest play. Because we've got a small level advantage for Misfit Island. XP advantage for Misfit Island. But we've got a structural advantage going in the way of Misplaced Ults. So they're doing a little bit more to get those Punishers.
Indeed. I can't believe Misplaced Ults walked... Wow! Look at that damage.
63. 63 stacks. It only stacks to 80.
God, you don't have to finish that quest so quickly. Here comes another one. Oh, damn. But I'm amazed Misplaced Ults didn't take more damage in there. A full 50-plus stack Sentinel came through. They were hit by Greymane Cocktail. It was nasty. Speaking of nasty, here comes a big collapse onto the J-Show and G-Prime. G-Prime is almost certainly going to get taken out with D-Shield being off cooldown for another 10 seconds. And this will put Misfit Island at a disadvantage going into this Punisher.
Yeah, and this is going to be a pretty brutal Punisher. This is Arcane, and we've got a full invade looking to happen here as the Bruiser camp is getting postured on up in the top lane. JTR taking a ton of damage as well. Curse Bullet's going to land. Holy Ground being popped, and that Starfall just doing work. Cold damage. Shifu duking it out in the bottom lane, or sorry, the bottom portion of this fight. A great Sanctification as well, as we've got a full-on retreat call from Misfit Island, but a great Owl as well. Is going to just keep JTR thinking, hey, man, I can't stay in this fight for long.
Indeed. There goes the Cocktail quest finished up for Ashiteru. But I want to... Oh... Wow. God, he's up to 73 stacks. We'll get a count on the damage once it hits 80, but Tyrande leading damage by a huge margin for Misfit Island.
Cold damn. We get it. You're a big boy.
Holy
we get
cow.
It. You're awesome.
This is nasty. 4v5. A pick goes over to the side of Misfit Island, and these Owls alone have forced Misplaced Ults out of this fight, and there's no healing fountain to help them come back in.
Just the amount of damage Coldam's able to pour on with those Owls before even taking the engagement allowed them to take a 4-on-5 engagement super prematurely. Zarya wasn't up yet. They didn't have any sort of real frontline, but the health bars and mana were so low after those two scraps that they really couldn't stay in that fight. And, I mean, now you see Smiley going down from about 80% to about 40.
Yeah. I
mean, this is insane. 78, almost completing the Ranger quest at this point.
That is so impressive. And I want to... Go ahead. Go for it.
I was just asking, how many times have you seen Ranger Quest being completed?
I've never seen it done. That's absolutely crazy. I want to go back to this Bruiser fight in the top right on Misfit Island side of the map. That allowed Coldam to put a lot of poke in, and even though they lost they were down Zarya, it allowed them to stall for time, and I think that really favored Misfit Island. There goes the quest completed at 1953. That is so impressive. It's still stacking further. It says 83. I don't know if the damage continues to scale, but... oh my goodness. Right, here comes a Punisher directly onto the core now. Full 5v5 fight for your life breaking out? No. Looks like Misfit Island will go ahead and retreat. Wants to save this fight for another day when they have a better position to take. Looks like Bruiser Camp will be taken in the invaded Bruiser Camp taken. Does this stack further? This would be insane. The damage right now is 270% if it stacks past this. That is absolutely crazy. Let's take a look at the Tyrande damage right now. If we hit 9 and we come over here, click on Coldam, and we see it does 400 damage, and then you multiply it by 4, and you realize it's doing over 1,500 damage a shot. That is absolutely insane. Here comes a collapse into the middle lane. Linkin Park dives in, but isn't... ooh, gets a cocoon onto Coldam. Big key part here. Jay showing a lot of trouble. Pops adaptation. he will be able to get that full heal as the Owls are off to the hunt. But overall, teams make it out. Just a couple ults down.
See, that was the engagement they really needed, I think, to get Koldam out of it because of the amount of lockdown and damage he's able to pour on. It's really, really hard to play against in a longer fight because he also provides some healing as well. So ultimately, I think at this point, you really need to get a good amount of value off of a Cocoon and then collapse and kill some other target. A good Holy Ground as well, but a great tongue onto Jay Show and a Cursed Bullet going down on a Smiley. And here we go. The Owl is just pouring on damage as Smiley's already forced to go in and tap. JTR going to tap as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a damage count on the on one Owl hit. Here we go. Sheepfu takes a little over 1,000 damage, so it does look like it caps at 80 on the damage, even though it continues to say it stacks further. I'm not sure entirely how that works.
Oh no, I missed.
Every Owl is just suspense.
It is, man. It's just like every fight that we see, it's just, all right, who's going to get sniped in the face this time?
Hedwig is going to work.
Now, we've got the middle shrine, but we've got Bruisers pushing in the top lane. That means that Misplaced Ults are really fighting on borrowed time at this point, as we've got all ults available, and a great Thornwood Vine is going to pour on some damage on the J-Show and Ellerin, but again, JTR just forced to back away. We have Sanctification available and a great collapse onto Ellerin as well. It's going to force Holy Ground to be popped. A great Sanctification, but D-Shield. D-Shield being able to save Ellerin for the time being, but J-Show's forced to have his adaptation. G-Prime now being the target of everybody's aggression as Aishiteru is being forced back as well. And now here comes the collapse on Aishiteru. D-Shield is down and just a huge amount of damage, but it looks like he's barely able to get away. Koldam's going to fall. And ultimately, I think this is going to be everybody on the side of Misfit Island just backing away. Just 100 HP for a second there on Aishiteru is going to force him just to full back. And they've got Bruisers on the core.
Yeah, absolutely. Bruisers, Catapults, Winions on the core, and nobody appears to be going back yet. JTR looks like he's coming back to deal with it now. But they're going to take permanent core damage from this as the Catapults continue to bring the pain. They're going to actually hold the Punisher at 39, which I think is a great decision here. Give them time to get some presence on the map and push stuff out for a little bit so they can make full value out of this center Punisher.
Absolutely. A little side note there, JTR used his Holy Ground to push the catapults into the range of that mid-keep just to allow for them to help him clear them a little faster. It saved 2% of the core HP. So a little bit of micro play coming into effect, and that's just really a lot of the experience here that's to be had from a team that's played together for so long and played the game in general for so long.
I love the little plays that a lot of times you don't notice, but it works out. Ellerin takes a huge amount of damage, gets all the armor and shields from G Prime, then has to pop D-Shield on himself, and still is in a lot of trouble. J-Show now popping adaptation. There goes Cocoon out. Is going to get cleaned up rather quickly, but Misfit Island in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I don't like Ellerin popping D-Shield on himself. He has redemption. He can come up. He's not going to be dead for long. You need to save that for somebody who's going to have a longer death timer. So a little bit of a misplay in my opinion, but we've got the Punisher marching down to mid-keep, and Koldam just throwing out Owls, doing everything he can to do a lot of damage, and here we go, the collapse onto Koldam, a great Impale as well, is going to secure the kill, but that's going to be Sanctification popped as well as Ancestral, and this is going to be mid-keep going down, so the second keep is going to go aggressively as well for Misplaced Ults, and this Punisher still at half HP. Huge amount of damage done on the G-Prime as well. Frost just spreading everywhere, but it's going to be Linkin Park going down. Everybody focused in the course, 30%. I think this is going to be game number 3. It is going over to Misplaced Ults on just an absolute baller of a game from Koldam.
Wow, that was an awesome game overall. I think we fanboyed a bit on the Koldam play, but there was some excellent play all around there. I was so impressed. I am thoroughly impressed. I think the damage of Sheepfu and Zermaka ended up being just too much for Tyrande and Uther and even Zarya to deal with. Shout out to the healing numbers, by the way, on DB Smiley there. 131,000. Really well done.
Jesus. I just want to point out here, Koldam, at the very end of that game, had 103 Owl hits.
Wow.
103. There are snipers in the army that don't have that many hits.
Wow, that was some those were some bloodthirsty owls. I tell you what.
Hedwig has turned feral.
Alrighty, well we'll go ahead and get this next game set up for you. Could be match point. We will have to see right after the break. Stay with us. Could be over soon. We'll have to see. All right, welcome to Game 4, the first Game 4 of Nexus Gaming Series. This is Misplaced Ults versus Misfit Island in the Division C Finals. Oh my goodness. We have a Game 4. We just had some praise from the players from the best of 5 format that the finals bring. They can leave everything on the table, bring out every strat they can possibly come up with, and know, win or lose, they played their best. And I think we saw some really fantastic play last game. Tell us about it, Rory.
I mean, it was just insane. Cole Dam laying on the hurt with that Tyrande, that niche pick that is so good on Infernal Shrines. And honestly, it really came down to the fact that Misplaced Ults were able to come in with some really solid team fights and bait out a lot of those cooldowns that made Misfit Island so threatening. And at this point, I think it's going to come down to the fifth game. I can feel it. This match, Tomb of the Spider Queen, or this particular map, is one that's always been kind of a thorn in Misplaced Ult's side. They've had some good wins on it. They've had some poor losses on it. So I'm not surprised to see that ultimately Misfit Island wants to bring it here, because this is one of their stronger maps.
Indeed. And despite all the success that Kuldam had with Tyrande, they did end up losing the team fights and the game. What can they do to capitalize on that kind of play, that kind of exemplary play, and make this go to a final match?
Well, Misplaced Ults thrive on maps that allow them to have macro play, where they're able to get split pressure, they're able to force the other team to have bad decision making. This isn't a map that really lends itself to that play style. This is a team fight heavy map where you're just pushing lanes all the time. You're trying to clear out, and you're taking fights around around the goalies, the little turn-in points. I can't remember what they call them. I call them goalies
I think they're eggs, actually. They're weird spider eggs.
But that's really creepy.
Yeah,
why would you feed eggs any gems? I mean, this seems like a waste of gems. But anyway, honestly, at this point, I think it's just going to come down to who executes a better team fight. And I wouldn't be surprised to see this go to map number 5. Misfit Island is just so strong on this map. I've had the pleasure of playing against them on it. And I got to be honest, I had a tough time. And so I like this. I like this pick, especially because they like that Ariel Uther combo, who is just so strong on this map. But it's going to be Stukov.
They're going to steal the Stukov away from DB Smiley. Kind of a sunny
Ooh.
man there. I like it.
It's the Kraken skin. Can I say it?
Oh, you can.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Fantastic. Kael'thas was banned out by Misfit Island. Don't want to see Sarmaka roast them again. He did 100,000 damage along with Lunara in that last game, so lots and lots of damage was put out, and so it's a very reasonable ban for this map.
Absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Sylvanas making a comeback as well, because it's so strong on this particular map. So at this point, I really think we're going to see a little bit more variety out of Misplaced Ults, and already we're seeing it. JTR, again, going to be playing the Tyrael, but Gul'dan, Sarmaka coming in again on that Gul'dan, and he was so strong in that first matchup where that Horrify was just brutal to play against.
Yeah, but that was the game they lost, but I don't think that falls on Gul'dan. It just didn't happen to work, and another Tyrael pickup. I'm really interested in that as well, to enable rotations and just great play overall. Really solid Tyrael play last game. Didn't go more than a death or two without picking somebody else up. Had some great sanctifications, so looking forward to that play. On the side of Misfit Island, we do have Greymane and Arthas picked up. We've seen this one before, and it led to a win in Game 1, so I like to see them come back to what they're used to, what worked, and make it happen.
Yeah, post 13 with Arthas, you're able to get into those smaller alleyways where you're able to really capitalize on landing those strong roots. So I like the Arthas pickup here, and I think at this point, what Misplaced Ults really need to be able to get into this is a strong double support combination to be able to out-sustain the amount of damage that Greymane can pour on through those moments where Arthas is enabling him so heavily. And then you need to have some sort of displacement. I would love to see Garrosh come in for Misplaced Ults.
That would be very, very powerful. Chromie was the ban for Misplaced Ults. Chromie is that rework live or is that in PT? No, that is live.
That's live, and that is so strong against Garrosh as well. So, I mean, I'm kind of fanboying here. I want to see Garrosh, and I'm hoping we see Garrosh because both Anubrak and Chromie both do a lot of damage a lot of disruption to a Garrosh style comp. And we've got Uther coming out, who is going to make a first appearance for the side of Misplaced Ults.
I think that was a great steal. I think Misfit Island was still, despite everything, still looking to pick up Uther there. And Malthael, ooh, that'll be a first to this series.
And Sheep is just so strong on Malthael. He knows how to pick his targets and he knows how to pressure. And as a solo lane, I mean, he's better than almost anybody in the game in terms of solo lane. So, I mean, you're really going to have to match him with something like a Zagara, unless you're planning on just having rotations do the work for you.
Yes, absolutely. That Malthael solo lane is a true monster. Very, very powerful. I'm a little curious here, though, for Misplaced Ults. Are they going to have Tyrael solo tank or Uther solo heal? And Uther solo heal isn't that bad, but they've got Gul'dan, and Gul'dan usually needs more sustain than what an Uther can provide. And so I'm a little worried how they're going to round out this composition because they do have kind of two imperfect picks right now to fill that role.
Well, Tyrael does add a little bit more in terms of that pseudo supporting, but against a Lunara, which is the last pickup, when paired with ETC, you're going to get a lot of value. And so, really, at this point, I think Misplaced Ults needs to make a decision. Either they go with a double front line to keep everybody safe and let Tyrael do as much as possible with those shields, or they get that second support and try to lend Gul'dan a little bit more to that poke style of play, which ultimately is going to, I think, suffer against ETC and Arthas, who are both pretty good at not only dodging, but being able to punish that kind of play style. But Malthael, again, doesn't lend itself to that play style that Gul'dan does. He's great at capitalizing upon the punishment that Gul'dan brings. So I think we're still going to see something that's frontlining. I think we're still going to see maybe a Garrosh, and I would love to see it.
Yeah, the only reason I wouldn't like Garrosh, other than that I don't like the hero, am I right? Some very mean teams beat me down with Garrosh pretty recently, so
I don't want to talk about it.
I wouldn't talk about it either. It was pretty brutal. Is that they don't have a lot of great follow-up. Uther's the only hammer follow-up, and their damage is all over time. Do go ahead and opt for that warrior pickup, increase their wave clear, increase just their general survivability with a Johanna pickup.
You know, I think ETC was probably their choice. I think ETC would have been a really solid choice because of Prog Rock, given a little bit more in terms of pseudo heals. I think that was what they were aiming for, but with ETC having been picked up, Johanna's the next best bet.
Yeah, Misfit Island has 4 heroes now on their team that Misplaced Ults have picked up during this series at some point. I think they're committing a little bit of thievery here.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, well, real quick before getting started this, I think I like Misfit Island's draft just a little bit more. What about you?
I do too. I think Greymane and Lunara do enough damage that, especially with the way Cold Dam's been playing, I mean, Jesus Christ, you're begging him to be on heroes that are impactful. So with the amount of damage that they could do, I think that they can really punish the fact that they've got an Uther solo support on the side of Misplaced Ults, but it's gonna take good positioning because Malthael will punish you in a second.
Indeed. All right, spawning on the right side of Tomb of the Spider Queen with their tournament life on the line, and in the Mr. Bigglesworth portraits, we have Misfit Island. We have Coldam on Lunara, G Prime on Arthas, Ashiteru on Greymane, Ellerin on Stukov, and Jaysho on ETC.
And in the blue trunks, having a 4-1 split here pretty early, we've got Malthael being handled by Shifu. Sir Mecha, always on those mages, and that's Gul'dan. Lincoln Park, once again, on the Warriors, and that's Tyrael. Uther, finally making an appearance for Misplaced Ults. It's DB Smiley and JTR rounding it out on the Johanna.
Yes, indeed. This is match point for Misplaced Ults. 1 point to win, and they will go home with the Division C title for this season. Misfit Island, though, is going to play their absolute hardest to make sure that does not happen.
Now, I like this matchup. I think Greymane's probably the best option as a solo laner against Malthael. He doesn't win the lane, but he can sustain it pretty decently, and he could force Malthael to stay a little bit safer. Ultimately, though, Ashiteru is getting a little bit bullied out as he's forced to back off. Great amount of damage going out, and we've got a full 4-man split. Coldam taking a bunch of damage up in the top lane as well, as both teams just trying to get as much out of this split as possible. And we do have Echo Corruption once again for Samaka on the Gul'dan.
Yes, indeed. I think this 4-man rotation actually favors Misplaced Ults quite a bit. They've got some great wave clear with Johanna and with Gul'dan. And I think they'll be able to do just a little bit more, and that'll allow Samaka to get off those channeled life, whatever they're called, life drains, life taps. Life taps is trait, and be able to sustain himself. There's too many life talents in this game. Oh.
Agreed. Get a life. Samaka getting collapsed upon, though. A huge amount of damage coming out as J-Show slides in. A great peel, though, from JTR on the Johanna is going to enable them to get back. And, I mean, there you go. That's Johanna for you. That's what you want in a good peel tank.
Yes, indeed. It is drain life. There we go. I've gone in and cheated and looked up the answer. Samaka would be able to channel the drain life. Fantastic. The only question is who's going to be able to pick up these gems. I think JTR, again, lends himself to be in a great spot to do that. Sheikfu takes a little bit of damage, but wait, Sheikfu, he's rotated out of the bottom lane, and actually they sent Linkin Park down. I just realized this.
I think they wanted more kill potential because with the amount of posturing up close that ultimately Misfit Island's been able to do, they need to be able to punish it. And here we go, as we've got a scrap in the mid lane. Blind's coming out from JTR as he shines a flashlight. G Prime taking a bunch of damage as he's going in on DB Smiley. And now we've got Malthael doing just a shit ton of damage. And he's going to be forced back as G Prime here is being.
Yeah, indeed. That was a lot of damage put out. But Malthael, it's a level 4 rotation. I bet it's to get that Black Harvest stacked up. I think that's the timing. As Chermaka gets caught out, he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Going to take a poke damage from Coldam, but overall is able to escape. Let's take a look at the gem counts now for both teams. They're actually pretty much dead even. 38 with 14 turned in for Misplaced Ults, and 42 with 12 turned in for Misfit Island.
And we've got JTR again on the rotations as everybody else on Misfit Island's posturing towards the mid lane. Ellerin just doing a good job of kind of scouting everybody out. JTR is going to sniff it out, though. Good route, but that's going to be Johanna's D coming out. Whoa, I'm sorry. This is a children's show.
Rated T for teen. We're A-OK here. Thank you, ESRB.
G Prime taking a bit of damage as well as that Echo Corruption doing a bunch of work. Already at 28 stacks. Shifu's going to come back and tap and stay in the fight here. And Coldam always having his Wisps in a great spot to be able to scout out the rotations. JTR taking a bunch of damage. He's going to pop his D once more. J-Show in the back line as Zermaka's needing to back away. And again, Echo Corruption stacks just piling on. Already up to 33.
Oh, it's a fantastic job. I think this is one of the best maps for these mage stacking talents. We take it all the time with both Gul'dan and with Kel'Thas. Here comes a rotation down onto Ashiteru, and great body blocking by Linkin Park and Sheikfu, but it will not be enough as Ashiteru leaves out with 37 health. Just escaped by less than one auto attack's worth of health.
You know, I'm given to understand that with the metric system potentially being implemented in the U.S., we're actually supposed to call that a pube hair of health. It's a unit of measurement with metric. I'm not surprised if you haven't heard about it.
Is it? That is quite an interesting standard that the European world has come up with. Truly the pinnacle of society.
Absolutely. If we measure ourselves by our pubes, I mean, we can't go wrong.
Alrighty, well, 5-man grouping now for Misfit Island as they try and make a powerful enough force to get Ashitiro to turn in and get that first Web Weaver phase to accelerate them to level 10.
Yeah, great job applying pressure by Misfit Island to just zone everybody back, and a lot of damage already done as this bottom wall is in danger of falling. Both the towers pretty low on ammo in the bot lane, and Coldam is going to do just a ton of work as Splintered Spear has been picked up by the Lunara.
Indeed, that's gonna stress that solo heal Uther so much. This is, as an Uther player for our team, for my team, this gives me nightmares. Is the amount of split damage that Greymane and Lunar can put up. But here comes the fight into the middle. Chermaka in a lot of trouble, ends up going down and almost finishes Echoed Corruption for it. Uther goes down as well. DB Smiley not able to escape that one. 2 kills puts Misfit Island up 1 level and very close to level 10.
Yeah, I think I would have probably preferred to see an Ariel pick up as the support here, because the battery that Gul'dan provides is just so impactful, and you've got basically the same thing as a D shield with the Aegis in terms of what you're wanting out of it, and you're able to get a lot more heals over the long term. So ultimately, I think Ariel would have been a better choice. It was still available, but we'll see if Smiley's able to do a lot with that armor trait that is going to be coming into effect here, as Guardian of the Ancient Kings has been picked up. So a lot of armor coming out as part of Smiley's kit.
Indeed, that is always the power that Uther's able to give, is that anti-burst. Koldam actually gets ganked on in the bottom lane. Great pickup there by Misplaced Ults, preventing, looks like 20 gems and a little bit of snowballing. Wow, Progrock's done 7 minutes into the game. That is some efficiency. That is impressive.
Jeez. And I think the most impactful part of that collapse is that you prevented that snowball, like you had said, is they had enough gems to be able to turn in a second time. And here we go, the collapse. Level 11 advantage in the bot lane, as we've got G Prime coming in on Shifu. That reduced healing, though, is going to limit the amount of damage that the minions are able to do in terms of his health pool, but G Prime does win that fight. Just a huge amount of healing. Chermaka and Shifu just not enough to be able to kill the Lich King. I mean, it was just too much.
2-on-1 and weren't able to take out that one hero, with the 2 being both high damage dealers from Misplaced Ults. That is a lot of sustain, and that Army of the Dead talent, heroic talent, comes in so much value in that case there in these smaller engagements.
Absolutely, and we do have Mosh Pit picked up for J-Show on the ETC, so look for a good engagement. Johanna's probably the best to be able to limit how well that is effective, but here we go. 10's finally been picked up, and that Horrify coming down. JTR in a little bit of trouble, as that flashlight's going to blind everybody, and here we go. You got a little bit of displacement. DB Smiley in a bad spot. J-Show getting a huge amount of penetration. I know, not a good enough reason to use the word penetrate, but here we go. Judgment coming in to interrupt, and J-Show in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. Ashiteru going to be short to follow. And at this point, a huge turnaround, as we've got once more just a level separating these two teams. And I think this is going to be a turn-in as well on the side of Misplaced Ults.
Wow, what a great turnaround in the fight. Despite having 3 ults down to start that fight, Horrify was down, D-Shield was down, Blessed Shield was down there, able to take the fight under their own fort and be able to make it, essentially make it work for them. They just had great peels. Nobody ended up dying. The Uther trait worked out really well, and couldn't ask for a better counter engage than what happened there.
Absolutely. Now the main piggy bank on the side of Misplaced Ults was JTR, and he's got 41 gems on him. They don't have enough to turn in without him getting any sort of turn in. Koldam has done a great job as a goalie, just keeping everybody away from being able to turn in. And at this point, everybody's back alive for Misfit Island. They've got a full talent advantage at this point. So really, this is kind of do or die. If they want any sort of turn in, Misplaced Ults needs to get some sort of a solid engagement. Curse Bullet coming down on JTR as well is going to force him to back away.
Yeah, ETC, however, coming in from the top lane, he's going to try and turn in 11 and gets the turn in done. So it looks like, despite having enough gems and the player advantage, the pickup goes over to the side of Misfit Island. Here comes the engagement as well. Here come those same ults again. Horrify, Divine Shield, and Blessed Shield all down. Judgment picked up and goes on to Ashiteru, but is it enough? God, the sustain just enough. Oh my gosh, there could be a mosh. There was not, though, as it got interrupted. Goes on that 10-second cooldown. And the only death there was Malthael and maybe G Prime as he gets very low.
Yeah, there comes that self-sustained. Progrock actually helped G Prime stay alive long enough Stukov doing a little bit of work as well. Ellerin is just so good at holding his D and waiting for the right time to use it. And again, I'm sorry for the foul language.
Oh, Rory, you've turned up the puns on this one with traits and everything. I can't. Whew. We'll
Hey,
see.
I refused to use the pun foul play last game when Tyrande had the birds going. All right. I almost used it and I didn't because I love you.
Well, I appreciate that. The puns, however, quite excellent there. I appreciate that one. Looks like the web weavers have been quite effective here. They take out the middle keep wall, every fort across the map, and give a 2-level advantage over to Misfit Island, and they might even get some bottom value as well.
You know, I like the amount of rotations coming out, and at this point, I think we're going to see a boss pull. We've got 13s now finally picked up for Misplaced Ults, and this needs to be a turn-in. They need to get some ground back. There are no structures eliminated for the side of Misfit Island, so I think this is going to be a full team fight, as we've got all the ults available for both sides, and I mean, we've got Gul'dan now hitting a pretty decent sustained spike, and then we've got Malthel hitting a good sustained spike himself with that Unstoppable.
Ooh, DB Smiley has already had to use Divine Shield, and he ends up going down. Mosh Pit gets casted and interrupted, I believe. I did not see it last for too much longer. That area silence from the lurking arm from Ellerin is going huge. Oh my goodness. Ellerin really saving that fight. Saved Ashitir, saved G Prime, and silenced the entirety of Misplaced Ults for multiple seconds during that. Incredible.
Yeah, those fights over that small area just way too hard for anybody to fight against Stukov, and he went Growing Infestation at 1, which is just going to increase the effectiveness, and this is definitely going to be a keep going down. And I got to give it up to J-Show once more. Ashitiru had just a fraction of health left, and that Frog Rock did so much to help him. And then at the same point, he juked out JTR's explosion on the Tyrael as well. So, or sorry, not JTR's, but the Linkin Park's explosion as well. And so it was just a really, really solid initiation overall.
Wow. That keep lived with 274 health. I cannot believe it. Arthas tried to escape and ended up just kind of hesitating, didn't escape, and didn't finish off the keep. It's one auto attack away. A real bummer, and a good defense there by Misplaced Ults, but they're going to need several more just like that to be able to even up this game. However,
absolutely,
there was one big part in that. JTR did not die, and he has 67 gems weighing down his character. I don't even know how you hold that many gems.
He's got big pouches.
Apparently. Ooh, dive onto Gul'dan from Linkin Park. With that judgment, Gul'dan going to be poisoned to death. And a pickup for Misplaced Ults should allow JTR to turn in, secure the kill. Oh my god, that D-Shield. DB Smiley. So good.
What a fucking champion.
Yep.
Now, out of curiosity, the health on that core, if you were to measure it in metric, how much would you say he had?
On the keep?
On the keep, yeah, on the keep.
Ooh, blown mosh pit. Oh. I think we learned about this earlier. I believe that's a feud here. I believe that's what we learned earlier in this game. I think this is the valuable lessons that come out of these casts.
Absolutely. It's, you know, it's the more you know.
Absolutely. So I am really interested to see how these next 3 minutes unfold. Misplaced Ults has the momentum now. They're going to have map pressure. They have a second turn in ready to go in, and they might be able to get a third. They could go for the double turn in, or possibly the triple turn in, which is so hard to hold off.
Well, at this point, it's going to be just a massive collapse on a G Prime, but a huge amount of damage as well coming out of both Lunara and the Greymane, and that's the power of that cleave. The Alpha Killer coming in handy is going to be able to secure the kill on a Linkin Park. Shifu short to follow as well. Ashitiru just on a tear right now. He's going to get stunned away, but here we go with that cocktail doing a little bit more damage, and a great root coming out of G Prime, showing Arthas off once more. GTR and Sirach are the only ones to get away, and ultimately, that's going to be once again Horrified just being burnt, and it's not going to net anything. Just a little bit of poke damage, and that's not really worth. That's a long cooldown for not really any sort of benefit.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get Ashitiru there with just about 250, 300 health. Uh, I think he's trying to pull him forward and get him out of the way because he's a huge amount of the boss damage that's coming out here for Misfit Island as they pick up that mid keep as well. Finally get a Lunara sneeze on that to take care of it.
You know, I think at this point, in order for Misplaced Ults to really come back on this, they need to, one, they need to defend this boss. They need to take a team fight that allows them to get up, back up even in XP and help them on their road to 20. And then once they get 20, they need to take another team fight and get a good turn in and just only push the top lane. Boss will be back up by the time they have any sort of win condition available. So that needs to be their win condition. They need to focus on the top lane, get that top fort down, then push on towards the keep, get another turn in, and just try to snowball in one lane. They're not going to gain any other value elsewhere. So right now, it's just full turtle mode here as JTR is going to bait it out and get some of them blinds going.
Yeah, we're just having a little bit of posturing, and it seems like they did decide to use the turn-in to defend this boss, prevent the keep from going down. I like the play overall. Force Misfit Island back, they're going to take it nice and chill, take the road to 20, clean up the web weavers, and attempt to leverage their advantage elsewhere.
That being said, though, Misplaced Ults not having it. They want to collapse. They want to be able to get kills. They know that they need team fights in order to win, but that catapult in the mid lane is going to spot this out, and everybody on Misfit Island is going to be ready for it. Elren looking to be the target as a great wave coming in, a great Horrify as well. Ashiteru being the focus of everybody's attention. He's blinded and he's going to get collapsed upon. A great D coming out from Elren, and ultimately Ashiteru's going to be able to get back and tap. 30 health, and it's going to be just too much. A great mosh pit as well is going to help secure a kill onto Lincoln Park, but he's going to explode and blow up Elren and J-Show. And great turnaround as well is going to net them a kill onto Sheep, but a great return kill onto G Prime as well. DB Smiley at a fraction of health as well as JTR is peeling. Coldam just in a great position to keep following, keep chasing. And at this point, DB Smiley might be going down. Nope, he's going to be able to get away.
Wow. Whew. 1-for-1 trades all throughout that long, drawn-out team fight. But what ended up coming of that? It gets Misfit Island a little bit closer to level 20, but overall, it allowed Misfit Island to secure a turn-in and be able to push with it with level 20 on a pretty much dead keep in the bottom lane, in the top lane, and no keep in the middle lane. Coldam in a little bit of trouble. See if they can make anything happen of it. Misplaced Ults go in. Oh my god, the jukes. The jukes.
If they get a kill on Coldam, they can defend. If they don't get a kill and J-Show comes in with this huge flank, Judgment going to come in and going to secure the kill on Coldam, but here we go. I mean, if they can cascade 1 or 2 more kills off of this, it's going to be great for them, but it looks like the call is to back away, clear up the web weavers, and stop this push from happening. Top lane's already pushed out quite a bit, and that top 4 did fall. Boss is going to be coming up here pretty shortly after this turn-in's over with, so ultimately this is their chance to come back. They need to be able to get this, get the boss, get another turn-in, and just spiral this thing out of control after they get 20s.
Yeah, unfortunately, Misplaced Ults lost a lot of gems after that skirmish there. They were the ones who had to retreat, and so they do not have enough for a turn-in, even though they do have the map advantage. And boss isn't up for another minute 45, so there's not a lot of ways for Misplaced Ults to leverage their advantage here, unless Misfit Island stays around a bit too long here. Oh, the Horrify is so good. It catches J-Show off. Good mosh, actually. Is going to end up not quite securing anything. Did get the kill on Johanna. Here comes Lurking Arm doing so much in the middle of this fight, but everybody on Misfit Island just evaporates with their health pools as the damage, the overtime of Chermaka and Shifu was way, way too much.
That was an insane fight, and it really came down to the fact that that mosh from J-Show, it didn't stun people. What happened is it allowed for a complete zoning of 2 out of 5 of the members there of Misplaced Ults just to be in a position where they were completely unsafe, and it resulted in both Tyrell and Johanna going down. And had that mosh pit not been there, that would have been a full team wipe. Absolutely would have been a full team wipe with everybody alive still on the side of Misplaced Ults. But that mosh just completely zoned off an entire section of the team. But on the back of that, 27 picked up, and it looks like at this point they're just content to clear out camps, get some lanes pushing back, and they've got to really worry about that mid lane because catapults are going to be pushing it for the rest of the game.
Yep, let's take a look at these level 20 talents the rest of the game here. We've got Final Curtain from Malthael, Haunt, the incredibly powerful level 20 upgrade, and we have Angel of Justice for those 30-second judgments. That is super fun. Redemption and Indestructible, the standard pickups from there.
Now, I think what's really going to come down to the wire here is that Haunt, that vulnerability on Haunt, 25% increased damage is going to allow for Malthael and Surmaka to be able to do so much damage. Sheep is really going to be able to cascade a lot of damage out of this. And here we go, a good collapse onto Surmaka and on Johanna and the JTR, the Johanna, is going to allow for everybody on Misfit Island to get in position, but really good job of backing off. And only one ult ultimately was blown there, and that was Judgment. And Curse Bolt's gonna be up in here in just a few seconds as both teams are content to just back away and posture. Boss is available now, and I think this is really gonna be what decides the results of the game. One good team fight can be it.
Yeah, because the lack of gems and lack of map objectives up, or mercenary camps up the time, Misplaced Ults did not get a lot of value out of that last team wipe, essentially. Not that that was any fault of their own, but there just wasn't anything to do. We'll see if they can get a little bit more out of this one as every ult is up. This is possibly the fight for the game and the series as Arthas gets pulled out way up front, gets judged as well. Linkin Park in a lot of trouble. He's going to end up getting taken out. G Prime, though, probably going to go down with him as Tyrael death rattles on top of him. Indeed, he does. 1-for-1 trade. Once again, the Tyrael specialty. Tremaka also in a lot of trouble, going to drain off of Ashitiru, but he's able to go in and finish off that kill. This could be it. JTR gets the edge of that power slide. He's going to pop automatic indestructible, then go down to the Lunara poison. That's 3 heroes down. This could be game for Misfit Island.
I think this is definitely going to be going to game number 5. DB Smiley, now caught in a mosh, is going to ultimately go down as well. And there's not a lot that a Soul Malthael can do. Shifu going to do everything he can, limiting the healing as well, and it's a ton of damage. DB Smiley now back up as well, but he doesn't have a D shield, and ultimately it's going to be both him and Sheep going down, and this is definitely going to game number 5. That was just an incredible play from J-Show on the ETC to enable his team to get in great position and zone out JTR as well as zone out Linkin Park and really get those early kills cascading.
Oh my goodness, you were correct, Roy. This is going to a game number 5. What a fantastic series we have tonight. This is so good.
Look at the damage. Jesus.
That is impressive. Yeah. We're 2.5 hours into this broadcast. Here's some breaks going on between the players. Go ahead and take yourself a break and get ready, because this is the exciting conclusion. Game 5. This is it. On just the other side of the break. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Here we are. It is game 5 of the Nexus Gaming Series Division C Finals between Misplaced Ults and Misfit Island. This is it. This is the one. Both teams have won 2 games. They have lost 2 games. And we have one final decider. Joining me, and just as hyped as I am, it is Rory.
This is an insane matchup. I knew this was going to be great. I knew it was going to be able to go at least to game 4. But game number 5, both these times that Misfit Island has come into these matches where they've won, it's with such a dominant performance. They had a great showing on Infernal Shrines as well, where they ended up losing just because of a cascading team fight. But now, game number 5, Towers of Doom, a map where both of these teams thrive.
Oh.
What do you do on this map? What do you do that hasn't been done that catches your opponent off guard?
I'll tell you what isn't going to catch Misfit Island off guard. It's the Vikings. This map was picked by Misplaced Ults. They wanted to break out their specialty for this last game, and it might have just been denied. Great pickup already by Misfit Island. They have scrimmed each other a ton. They know their tendencies, and they are showing it here. Oh, so good.
You know, I'm surprised we haven't seen at all a Garrosh pick. And both these teams like Garrosh. I've played against them, and they've had Garrosh on their teams. I don't know why we haven't seen it, but it could be the difference maker in this particular matchup. His Towers of Doom is definitely one of his strong maps.
Indeed. Garrosh is strong everywhere. Garrosh Imba. Am I right, Balance Winers? Fantastic. Fantastic.
The jokes are real tonight.
Oh, it absolutely is. You can't go 5 games without jokes. That's what keeps it up. We're 2.5 hours into this, and we've got more to go. But
exactly.
Not too much.
I just realized we keep saying tonight. I haven't even had lunch yet.
Indeed, it's been a long one already. It's a little bit crazy. Oh, and we've got the Stukov counter pickup. I'll give you permission in just a moment after we talk about Sarmaka and on Kelthos and a Dahaka pickup. But go ahead.
Release the Kraken.
The Kraken shall be released, and once again, it will be for the side of Misfit Island.
I love it. Eldarin's very strong on Stukov, and really coming out to this where we saw Smiley coming in on Stukov twice already. Eldarin's coming in as well and showing, hey, I like Stukov too. I'm going to show you how it's done, big boy. And Cole Dam, once again, I got to say, Cole Dam coming in on Falstad one more time, and G Prime heading it off on the Arthas again. I mean, this is just insane. The amount of comfort within these picks that have just proven to be so valuable over and over again.
Indeed. We see Stukov picked up for the second time for Misfit. Second Falstad pickup, I believe. Third Arthas pickup. He's been on the team both times that they've won, so no surprise that Arthas is being picked up. On the side of Misplaced Ults, this is the first time they've pulled out Dahaka this series. I believe Misfit Island had Dahaka, but not Misplaced Ults. So we'll have to see who's comfortable in that and how well he plays them.
Yeah, it has been banned out every time against them, and Misplaced Ults love Dahaka. They definitely play it very, very well, and JTR is such a strong Dahaka player, so I'm not surprised that they've wanted to ban it out, and here we have a Genji ban. What do you think? Or, sorry, that they've picked it up, that they banned it out previously, but now they've gotten to pick it. So what do you think of the Genji ban?
That's interesting. Genji kind of punished the TLV, but I'm interested to see why they thought Genji was so much of a threat here. I haven't seen the carrying, soul-crushing Genji play out of Misfit Island, even when they had nearly optimal scenario with Vikings. So I'm not entirely sure where that comes from, but nonetheless, I'm sure they know more than I do about Misfit Island.
Well, Falstad and Genji have a unique synergy. They have the ability to, in combination, separate one portion of the team and then blow up another target. So if you get a good gust by Falstad, along with a really good silence by Stukov, with Genji in there, you're able to blow somebody up and immediately get those resets and keep going, and you're able to cascade. It takes a lot of pressure on the enemy team, and it takes a lot of coordination, but ultimately it was just it's such a strong combination, and they don't want anything to do with it.
Speaking of wanting nothing to do with it, the first time Greymane's been banned out. Nobody wants Greymane this game. 5th time, 100% popularity, but this time it goes to the ban column.
He's definitely a very strong impact hero, and you pair him with Falstad, it's the most throw-friendly map of the game. I love it. I'm assuming everybody can read the chat in the game.
They should be able to.
I like it though. They tick up the Greymane, who's been so popular, and they're gonna accent the KT and the Dahaka with a Rhaegar. Let's see who their second damage there's gonna be. Oh, we're actually gonna see the second primary tank.
Tyrael again. I have never seen this much favor for the tier. Oh, we got the Chromie stall and the rework Chromie. We are gonna have lots to talk about in just a minute. Let's quickly jump back to Misplaced Ults. Rhaegar, the DB Smiley specialty, again, plays him so incredibly well. And Tyrael, again, to enable the mobility. Dahaka needs no more mobility, but nonetheless, we've seen great play out of, I believe it's been JTR on Tyrael, and he's done a great job.
Are we going to see Malthael again?
Ooh. We might.
I think we might see Malthael again.
I don't know about that. We'll have to see it. It'll strongly depend if second tank's picked up for Misfit Island. Malthael ended up... Ooh, Stitches. I like it. Good pick on this one. Malthael remains available, but they didn't have a lot of success with him last game. Despite doing well, it never felt to be the crushing blow. So I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
You know, I think a lot of that attributes just to the fact that Uther was really hard pressed to be able to deal with the amount of damage Nara was able to throw on. So Tyrael didn't actually go Sank as well. So that would have been a heck of a lot of defensive ability to be able to deal with the burst last game that they just really missed out on. I think with a Rhaegar and then Tyrael going Sank this time, they could definitely pull out the Malthael, especially because with everybody so stacked up last game, and we've got Arthas and Stukov and Stitches who could be relatively stacked up as well. Falstad, who's really susceptible to CC. Chromie's really susceptible to CC. You're able to chain off a lot when you're able to combo Malthael and KT together, or Kael'thas together. Illidan.
Oh my goodness, it's all on the table now. Talk to me about Chromie and Stitches. We'll talk about Illidan in just a minute. Let's go.
So, Stitches, I mean, everybody knows him. Great lane clear, great ability to reach out and grab somebody and take them to dinner. And I think this is probably going to be a putrid bile game, so it's going to enable everybody to kind of get in the back line. Gorge could be a big factor here, though, because you Gorge into that Chromie combo as soon as he expels it out, and you're deleted. I mean, there's nothing you can do. And there's not a whole lot of escape on the side of Misplaced Ults. That being said, though, new reworked Chromie, it takes a lot of work to be able to get up to that point where you're a death machine like she was before. The problem is, though, her new build, that's becoming a lot more popular with the time traps. Basically, what it does is at level 2, when you get the talent, time trap now resets all your cooldowns. And so at level, I believe it's 5, when you get Dragon's Eye, you're able to have a ton of damage be able to pour on out of every trap. And those traps are up pretty often. Yeah. And at level 20...
Indeed. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about Chromie in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead, introduce these players while we have the time available to us. This is the final game, the big kahuna, the tip of the top of Division C. We have Misfit Island, J-Show on the Stitches, Ellerin on Stukov, Cold Dam on Falstad, Ashatiru on, who is that back there? Is that Chromie? Tiny little gnome hiding behind G-Prime on Arthas.
And in the blue corner for the final time tonight, I'll be introducing Misplaced Ults, Lincoln Park once again on Tyrael, Sheep Fu bringing it in on Illidan's first appearance of the night, DB Smiley once again on Rhaegar, JTR bringing it on Dahaka for the first time tonight, and then Zermaka again on Kael'thas, his prized possession.
His prized possession just got taken out. Goodbye, Kael'thas. Welcome to the final game. Zermaka, brutal start.
That was a great hook into an amazing route by G Prime. And so, I mean, a little bit of BM coming out in the chat as well. That's a lot of damage. You're just not going to be able to deal with it very well.
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't go Mana Addict here. Felon Fusion, by far the weakest level 1 talent, but I think Mana Addict would be so strong here. to help himself in case of burst.
You know, I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that Aishiteru, well, is in so much damage coming out as well, or in so much trouble. But I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that he needs to be able to have a lot of burst damage coming out at certain intervals, and it's harder to be able to get convection stacks up. It's harder to be able to get those orbs up pretty early. So this is the safest option while also giving himself a little pseudo heal. That way, if he gets poked at all, he's able to just kind of heal himself back up over a little bit of time. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him go the mana edition as well at level 4.
Yep. I'm interested. I know you're mentioning Chromie talents. We've got the mounting sand to help stack Chromie sands really, really high, but we don't have the time trap reset here, so we instead have that bronze talents talent.
Yeah, wanting to go with a little bit more poke damage, and I don't really like that. This is a map that really lends itself to a lot of that aggressive style where you're able to get those CC trains out. And with the amount of CC that they have on the side of Misfit Island, those time traps can only do work. You know, they can only do more. And now we've got Stitches down, so he's not going to be able to interrupt with those hooks anymore. Chromie, though, is going to do some work, and that's going to be DB Smiley doing everything he can to zone out. And I think they're just going to give up this altar up in the top as we've got Arthas and Shifu going down. And JTR, with a great burrow, is going to be able to collapse onto G Prime. A great root as well. But JTR's got the essences to be able to deal with it. G Prime is ultimately going to be going down. And that hook's going to miss barely. Cold Dam coming in as well aggressively, but Shifu, it looks like, is going to be able to get this final turn in, and Ashitiro just barely making it out with, I believe the metric rating is a pube hair of health, and he's going to bye-bye back into the base.
Ooh, Termaka takes a hook again. Cold Dam not quite with the mana to barrel forward, but it did not matter. Second pickup now against that Kael'thas. Got to watch out for that cape. Ooh, JTR with the tongue from the bush. Nice job.
If you've ever seen the movie The Incredibles, capes are always a bad idea.
No capes.
Yeah.
Best movie.
It is. It's such a good movie.
It really is. Is there even a Heroes game occurring?
I don't know, man. There might be. I'm not sure.
Yep, this is now an Incredibles discussion stream. Please, chat, take it away.
The public forum. Just go ahead and talk about The Incredibles, all that.
Yep.
Lincoln Park doing a pretty good job of getting that soak up in the top lane as well. Is going to force J-Show to rotate up, but a great hook is going to have him landing pretty low on HP. And now JTR is in position to be able to funnel a little bit more of that XP and Cold Dam up to be able to relieve J-Show of his duties.
Yeah, really solid rotations overall on a slightly more rotationally complex map than, say, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Both teams, 2 kills. No tower damage on any of the walls, and pretty much equivalent XP, which means their soak's been equal. Great job so far by both teams.
And we did see mana tap picked up by Kael'thas, so Surmaka wanting to prioritize a little bit more of that staying in lane. Ashitiro, though, a ton of damage being dealt, and he's gonna have to back away. A great hook, though. Lincoln Park's gonna zone it out and be able to catch that one aggressively for his buddies there. But G Prime with a great root and a good combination coming out of Ashitiro, but it's going to miss. And ultimately now we've got just this altar here and everybody posturing around. JTR still up in the top lane, getting a little bit more of that soak done before he comes in aggressively. It looks like he's going to be coming in as well behind Ellerin. And a good collapse onto Lincoln Park. But there we go with the tongue. Ellerin in a lot of trouble. Shifu just hammering down, but it's going to be Lincoln Park to fall shortly after, and Ellerin just a little bit less survivable than he would like to at this point. But here we go, Ashitiro going to be collapsed upon as well. But ultimately, we've got a 2-for-1 trade, but the health points are pretty low. G Prime going to be the next to fall at the hands of Shifu if he's not too careful. So we go. Sheep's going to be able to get out though, it looks like.
Will he? Falstaff's right on top of him. He's able to kind of juke and jive himself away. He does manage to escape. DB Smiley in a little bit of a trouble. No, everybody appears to have escaped. That was a very interesting fight overall. Oh, wow, the fly was going to go down.
Interrupt.
Wow! Just out in time. Lives with 20 health after the shield. Probably got down to single digits right before that. Great clutch save.
That was an insane hook as well, just previous to that. I mean, that was DB Smiley baiting it completely into his teammate.
Indeed. So in all of that, Misplaced Ults picked up their third altar, go up 8 in health, 36 to 28. Uh, just a little bit of advantage they have in terms of altars and in terms of experience in getting to that level 10.
Absolutely, and I do want to just, well, as well as Temporal Loop being picked up, just a quick side note, like a quick update here. We've got Sandblast up to 25 stacks at the moment, so quite a bit of extra bonus damage here going to be able to be done. I think that's 125 bonus damage on the Sandblast.
Yes, indeed, as Falstad gets taken out and the top lane Kuldam goes down. Do you see that in the talents panel? Yeah, that's where it is. Okay. If you click on Chromie, actually, it only shows the mounting sand bonuses. So that's only for the 3 consecutive hits. It's like only 3 hits all game? That seems low. But it turns out the UI, just a little bit different. So that's some very good progress so far.
Absolutely.
Getting that 26 done, and that will only improve as time goes on.
Just a quick side note here as well. JTR was able to secure that kill onto Kuldam up in the top lane. But then as well, I want to just give a quick shout out to Enhanced Agility as a talent. That race card JTR build is just so brutal. And here we go, Kuldam going down, and a tongue onto Ashiteru as well is going to follow that up. Good time trap on the Sheep's going to keep him just as a spectator for the time being. Jay Show with a good hook as well, but this is going to be a fight that's going to continue in the bot lane. 2-for-0 trade, and we do have Gorge being picked up from the side of Misfit Island, so wanting to get that isolation on one target. The camps are going to be coming up about 15 seconds. This is definitely a time to be able to snowball this.
Oh, G Prime gets caught out in the bottom lane. It looks like the mechanics of Misfit Island are just falling apart just a little bit, and it's resulting in several kills being a little bit sloppily handed. Ooh, that's a Tyrell going into the Stitch's belly. That can be escaped. As Ellerin is actually the one in a lot of trouble there. Here comes Temporal Loop. Nothing.
He unfortunately just wasn't going to net any kills, and I mean, we got to think about this. This has been almost 3 hours that we've been in this matchup, and as a finals should go, it becomes a war of attrition. It becomes how exhausted are these players and how well can they keep their focus after such a long battle. Are they really going to be able to keep their mind right and keep focused on the goal? And right now we see Misplaced Ults in a little bit of an upper hand in that regard.
Absolutely. We saw the Stitch's ult get picked up just a tiny bit after that hook allowed JTR to escape instead of getting picked off by the Gorge. We saw G Prime rotate down in a little bit of bad spot. Tough spot to be in. And I really, really like all of the ult pickups from Misplaced Ults. The Judgment Hunt combination is disgusting. And Pyroblast to do so much damage.
We got the spicy meatball. You know what? I think Bye Bye was picked up by Chromie to deal with that.
Wow, there goes Kuldam. Bye.
Spicy meatball, man. It was blown.
Indeed, and unfortunately that Falstads are a little bit allergic to that spicy meatball, and it's going to cost him his life. Should have brought some help against that, and instead Misplaced Ults are going to go ahead, pick up the boss, and knock the core to 50% for Misfit Island.
What do they call that when you eat something and it messes your stomach up? Irritable bowel syndrome? I think Falstad has that, so he can't really eat Italian food very well.
Oof.
Ooh, great Gorge onto Samaka as well, and we've got a pretty good reset as well on Sheik Fu, and that's going to be a kill going over on the side of Misfit Island, despite having been so down in these previous fights. Lincoln Park pretty low as well, and Cesar was blown onto Sheep, and I think at this point we're just going to see them secede a couple of towers here, as both of them are going to go over to the side of Misfit Island.
Yeah, it sure appears that way. It's going to be a hard task to try and safely interrupt this. Might be, might not be.
JTR just walks into the back and just pokes him. I love it.
Yeah, but this is a 4v5 in the favor of Misfit Island. Ashitiru's taken a lot of trouble with the dive. Great isolation gust right there. Even though Sheepfu's going to be able to dive back in, he's not going to be able to get the kill. That's 3 for 1, again in the favor of Misfit Island. That was a total of, I believe, 4 for 1 or 5 for 1. Great job there, and they catch up an XP.
Absolutely, and it just kind of came off of the back of a really, really solid hook by Jay Show, getting a massive lead for his team, and we've got 13 to 13 now, 28 to 20 in terms of core shots. And again, just a reminder: this is map number 5. Both of these teams are tired; they're worn out. A lot of these teams are a lot of these players are on the East Coast, so it's pretty late for them over there, and so this is kind of coming down to the wire.
Yes, indeed. We have Bye Bye taken by Chromie to just absolutely nope out of these judge hunt scenarios. I'm wondering if she'll even be able to get that off in time. JTR gets a temporal loop. He's able to burrow out of that, though, so no real problems had. Oh, the cape. The cape. J-Show gets another hook, gorge onto Sirmaka, and Sirmaka goes down. Oh, my goodness.
Again, should have listened to the Incredibles, man.
That's exactly how the comms go in my chat
that's
when
the
Kel'Thas
response.
gets pulled too. It's amazing. Did you know, by the way, Kel'Thas has the 5th largest hitbox in the entire game? That is.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I don't think I quite understood that.
Despite all of the big tanks and everything in the game, Kel'Thas's hitbox is the 5th largest in the game, which means he is so susceptible to Stitch's hooks. That cape does actually matter. It's not just a meme running around. That's impressive.
I mean, I think at this point someone needs to remind him that the Incredibles tell you not to wear capes.
Yeah, absolutely. Or do like Gul'dan or Vala, just have a really small one. But let's see, 15-15 team fight coming out. Misfit Island really wants to pick up those 16s or get a pick early. One of those two. Well, they're looking for Temporal Loop on Ethereal. Gets the cleanse, and instead, oh my god, Chromie just explodes as the entire line just breaks apart. J-Show in a lot of trouble. Great gust by Koldam to pull the people off of J-Show, possibly just long enough to make the save. We'll have to see. He does get out. JTR gets hooked, but Koldam peeled off by damage. Cannot follow up, so that is just one Chromie kill over for Misplaced Ults.
That was, I believe, the second iteration of the term bye-bye.
Indeed. That was nasty, and there's going to be some more bye-bye if we don't be careful. Illidan in a little bit of trouble. Pyroblast goes out onto J-Show, but that health pool is so tanky it will not matter. But finally, Ellerin and G-Prime end up going down. And this is going to get tough now. Down to only 11 health is Misfit Island on their tournament life.
Now, they did get all 3 of those tower shots. The problem is that they only had 2 of their bell towers available, so it was just 3 shots apiece. So they missed a total of 3 shots. They would have been down to 8 in total. And
whoa! 2-man Tyrael trait. Look at that trait value. Look at that trait value from Linkin Park.
What is going on in this game? We're seeing Spicy Meatball do almost nothing. We see Tyrael take 2 of his own.
Wow.
We see Chromie going for the second iteration of Bye Bye.
That is
what's happening.
This is Division C living up to the Clown Fiesta name. Even though these games are fantastic, this one a little bit crazier than the rest, and this series has been the epitome of everything Division C has been. Some really great play and a lot of really just fun play overall. I like it. These teams are fun.
Now, a bit of a little side note that a lot of people might not know, Stukov has a bit of a weird trait in terms of his silence. Will actually interrupt the sappers from being able to hit their target. If you put it in their way in their run path, as soon as they start running, you'll actually interrupt them from being able to hit the target. So, and then once they're past it, they'll restart that animation. So it gives you some extra time to be able to final blow those sappers.
That's an interesting fact. Let's see Boss going down for Misplaced Ults. This would put Misfit Island with just 7 health and possibly lethal from these altars. Holy Ground is up, so there's nothing Misfit Island can do about this besides take a really good fight after. Here comes the Temporal Loop on Linkin Park. Gonna get him low while J-Show gets, looks like DB Smiley. DB Smiley's then gonna get gusted into the no ammo tower. That's a real shame because he's gonna Ooh, good slam from Stitches and good root from G Prime is going to take DB Smiley out.
Yeah, I think at this point they just need to secede both of these altars and go and try to get like a top bell tower.
Yeah,
And it looks like Misfit Island wants to get this bottom bell tower as well.
Yeah, I think they could have pushed in this bottom bell tower, gotten a couple more shots on core, but I don't blame them for wanting to play it safe and not have any chance of a bell tower getting, or altar getting stolen from them.
Absolutely. Now, we do have a couple of talents that have been completed at this point. Enhanced Agility for Dahaka, as well as Vigorous Reuptake for the Stukov. So a lot of ability to get that burst healing out. That's, again, 40% additional healing on bio kill switch. So just a crazy amount of survivability now with Stukov on the table. And 20's pretty close to being picked up. Now we've got Season Marksman as well being finished by Cold Dam on the full stat.
Let's check out the Chromie quest progress really quickly because Chromie just picked up that Piercing Sand, so regardless of where it's at 60 out of 80 right now. It will start completing very quickly, and after that 80's picked up, she will essentially gain the Past and Future Me level 20 talent from before her rework.
Absolutely, and it looks like everybody wants to just work on...
Bye! Wrong bye-bye there. Wasn't sure if Chromie's going to be able to get it off in time, and it absolutely was not. That pickup gets level 20. Great disengage route from G Prime. Coldam, a little bit of a tough spot.
That was a perfect judgment to be able to complement the spicy meatball. And here we go, JTR in a bit of a bad spot, but he is going to just burrow and walk away. Adaptation's been popped, and at this point, just not enough damage without the Chromie to be able to survive, and I think this is going to be a fight to the death. And we have JTR again, a low on health, but Ancestral going to barely miss.
Yeah, Shifu ended up coming down and instead of assisting that fight, did secure the altar. Could have long-term benefits, cutting your opponents down to 3 health. I think that works out. Ooh, and we have a pause coming down here. Ooh. Wow, we need a... Oh, I think a screen popped up. We gotta blame Windows.
Either that or his Windows open.
Yeah, I think 3, 2, 3, Shifu, you troll. 3, 2, 1. Gotta have a ref do that.
No, you gotta wait. They're not ready.
Wait, oh. Apologies on that. That was, I assumed Shifu was attempting the countdown, failed the thing because only a referee can unpause, and then recounted up.
Rip.
Oh gosh, that's gonna catch some people off guard. I feel bad. That's alright. Things should be okay.
And we do have that full-on fight going on in the mid lane too. G Prime is at a pretty low amount of health, but that being said, DB Smiley even lower. He's at a fraction of his health, and the health pools on Misfit Island are still pretty well healthy.
All right, let's start this back up. Ooh, hook misses, the lethal hook misses. G Prime's able to escape, so I don't feel bad about causing the deaths of anybody. Thank goodness. That would have made me feel real bad. So, thanks everybody for not dying. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Misfit Island's still trying to posture up for this fort. They want to be able to take it, and we got Coldam going to be able to use his Epic Mount to go down to the bottom lane and just clear up these creep waves, as both of the camps in the mid are available. Camp in the top's available, and now we've got that mid temple being taken. But at this point, one temple being gone, or one bell tower being gone, is not a big deal. 3 shots are all that's needed.
Yeah, it does help Misfit Island's clock on Misplaced Ults, but that's about it right now. It does maybe get them some scaling advantage, but overall, not hugely important. Instead, it's basically going to come down to a team fight for the game, the series, and possibly their life if Misfit Island's on the side of it.
Absolutely. Basically, anything short of a full team wipe could be detrimental. The next altar phase should be just a single one, if I remember correctly what the count is. And that being said, they need to take a fight, and they're going to be investing all of their sappers into this bottom fort and end up getting almost nothing for it because, oh, we've got double. So they need to defend both and be able to take one. At this point, the only thing that could be messing this up is
no.
Cold Dam.
Oh no, they have to fight under this. Try and fight under the bell tower or something like that. Ellerin takes a lot of damage from the Pyroblast. Oh, Cold Dam. Could that cost him the game? We'll have to see. Can Ashituru do the poke work necessary to allow them to survive? The Hawk ends up burrowing. Surmaka goes in. There is no interrupt. And Misplaced Ults channel the final bell tower and win Nexus Gaming Series Division C.
Just an incredible game. 3-2 being the final score. Going to map number 5. This is the first best of 5 series that NGS has ever played, and it's a great tribute to this particular division for Division Clown Fiesta to go to a 5th map, and on the back of some really, really weird drafts.
Oh, that was just such a great series overall. I'm so happy for both these teams, but especially for Misplaced Ults. Congratulations to them. They have won. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, well, we'll be right back in just a moment. We're going to set up an interview with Sheepfu and or his entire team. We'll see. It's so unpredictable. We'll be right back in just a moment. Alright, we're still hot. That was absolutely awesome. Let's go to General. I think that'll be good. Oh goodness, what a series! I'm live on the mic. You're live on the mic. What'd you think, Rory?
That was an insane series. I think Misplaced Ults were the favored to go into that series anyway, but Misfit Island came in with such an incredible amount of play and such synergy that we haven't really seen from them in previous matchups. Yeah, they won a lot of their games. They played really, really well. But the thing is, it's a team that before the season never played together. They had never, spoken to each other. They came in as 5 free agents and made it to the finals and took it to map number 5. That is as close as you can get.
That's such a great story overall to say that they were just 5 random people. They said, we'll make a team, got dropped in Division C, and they put up one of the best fights I've seen. This was a joy to cast. Thank you for joining me, by the way, Rory.
Of course, and I'm excited for Division A matchup later on today where we get to cast again.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you'll be headed off shortly after this to go play in your own finals, so I wish you the best of luck as well.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Indeed. Well, we'll get to an interview in just a moment, but Rory, let's talk. Let's talk real talk here. Who, out of this amazing 5-game series, played just that tiny bit better over all the other great plays and deserves MVP for this series? That's a tough question.
It's really not. I don't think it's a tough question at all. I think Cold Dam did.
Cold Dam, despite being on the losing team, you think Cold Dam brought it so hard for his team. He played amazing. I think everybody played just so well. I think it's so hard to put it down, but
I think it is definitely a very, very hard decision to be able to make. But if you think about it, Cold Dam played Tyrande better than anybody I've ever seen play Tyrande. His Falstad play on 2 separate maps was the most impactful of any hero on the map, and it resulted in 2 of their wins, as well as his Lunara play on the 4th map. It resulted in a win, and that, I think, is really what separated some of these matches from going 3-1 or even 3-0, is his ability to keep his team in the fights, his ability to keep himself alive in the weirdest situations, and his ability to select targets to pour damage onto that became extremely impactful. So I think ultimately, he's the most deserving of an MVP crown, despite having lost the finals.
All right. Well, for my nomination for MVP of this series, I'm going to take a slightly more conventional route. I'm going to go with JTR. JTR played such an impactful role all throughout these games and played the critical Lost Vikings. I have to give bonus props just for executing a Lost Vikings comp properly. He played tank flex. It worked out beautifully for them. And I think he was just so impactful on Dahaka the last couple games. Murden in the first game. And, God, I'm losing track of the games together. But I think he just played such a solid series overall that I think he was really the instrument of Misplaced Ults doing, getting those wins. So I think JTR is deserving of my MVP.
I think at this point, because the finals went so well, I think we should have nominated an MVP for both teams because
so much.
They played so incredibly well. And they were so impactful over the long term. So I think at this point, it's pretty safe to say both Coldam and JTR, congratulations. You are the MVPs of your team and the joint MVPs of the Division C finals.
Dude, this series was absolutely an amazing way to kick off the inaugural series.
How fun were those?
Those were so fun. Welcome to the channel,
Dude.
Sheep.
What?
That was
God, were those fun.
Joining us is Sheep, followed shortly by the rest of his team here pretty shortly, hopefully.
I don't think they're coming unless you want them.
I would love to have them in here.
Yep.
Okay, hang on. I'll get them.
All right. Hey, everyone. Get in here. We're going to pile on in this channel. Thank you, everybody. But yeah, like, I just want to point out, the MVPs played just that tiny bit better. Everybody played so well. It was such an enjoyable series to watch overall.
Absolutely.
And not to say that, again, if you didn't get MVP, you didn't play well. Everybody played just so absolutely well. Welcome.
All right, they're coming.
Welcome, everybody. Congratulations, Misplaced Ults. You guys played fantastically.
Oh, those were fun.
Thank
We
you.
had a blast.
Thank you.
That was the best set I've ever played.
Uh,
It was amazing.
the plays were
Awesome.
great.
Not personally, I didn't play great, but yeah.
Well, is going to be, are we going to have the final member as well here tonight? Or yes, we are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
What's up?
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Misplaced Ults, for achieving the first of hopefully many NGS season 1 Division C finals, and it was a pretty close series. A lot of weird comps that you guys had, but overall, just such a great showing. And if you guys had to just as a collective think, who was your most impactful player on your team this particular series? Who would it be?
They're just going to ravage each other. Fantastic
Yeah.
way to start, Roy.
Well, and I think we'd say a lot as a team that we feel very confident going into games because we have, in our opinion, and I think really anyone who's ever watched us play or Div C teams, we have the best solo laner in the division in JTR. I don't even think it's close.
No, I
Um,
agree. I agree.
And tonight also, we got to showcase JTR on the Vikings as well.
Dude, I cannot
Um,
wait to talk about that.
Yeah. So it's I think that
JTR,
most of the
hands
time,
down.
yeah, most of the
MVP.
time JTR allows us to roam in
Get away
aggressive
with
four-mans. Yeah.
Well, as a before we get too deep into that, I do want to just let you know, Ace and I have actually announced that JTR is tonight's MVP for your team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
That's
Congratulations.
not a,
What
not
a
a
baby
surprise.
JTR. What
Way
is
to
that,
go,
like the
JTR.
4th or 5th one you got this season? Why don't you let
Yeah.
us get some of those?
Just banish them to
Yeah,
the
once you
talking
start
about-
playing like shit, all right?
Yeah,
Hey, I pressed my
Too much.
I pressed my Q buttons on Rhaegar very, very
Oh,
hard.
no, you press that R button well. You're
No, it's
Ancestrals.
very well earned. JTR
Except for
allows
the two
us
I
to play
missed.
the way that we play.
yeah.
But
2
he
over
allows us
5
to be
games.
hyper aggressive.
Yeah, very, very good. I want to talk real quick about that Vikings comp. How many times
Oh.
have you run it? How many times have you done it against them in scrims? And just talk about it. It was awesome. It was fun to watch.
We've never run it in scrims against
Not against them. We've never showed them that. We've run that comp a lot, and we were just talking before you guys pulled us up. What we've been saying, knowing that we're going into a best of 5 for the finals, is we need to have one comp, a cheese comp, if you will, that we know we can take a map with, and that's the comp that was. So we've run that Sylvanas Vikings cheese on a lot of the larger maps pretty frequently in practice, but Misfits had never seen that ever. And Misfits, we scrim and have scrimmed every week for 10 weeks. So that's the first time they had ever seen that. They had no idea that we could run it.
No.
Yeah.
My
I do
question-
need. Can I chime in something there?
Yeah.
I do have to say that I have to thank my organization, Gale Force Esports, for giving us the idea there. We adapted it. We put our own flavor. No, I'm serious. The three
Nasty.
fixtures: Zarya, Sylvanas, TLV.
Yeah.
That's straight from Gale Force. We threw in a
HGC.
Greymane just for raw siege damage, and Stukov we think is just perfect for that kind of style of play. Long-term sustain, ability to shut down the gate so they can't engage on you opportunistic.
I know.
So,
I was gonna mention
thanks,
that
Gale Force.
the Stukov Sylvanas. I was gonna mention. I don't think I quite got to it in the cast, but that is a disgusting composition where you just watch your buildings die and that's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it gives us the ability to, DB and comms, and that is letting us know when trade is up, so we know when we can push, when we need to back out, wait for trade, and then we can re-engage. So we actually have fallen in love with the Stukov in that specific comp.
Yeah, I was talking to G Prime after the game about, I contacted him and was like, hey, good series, man, da 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 da, and he was like, dude, that Vikings comp, we did not expect it. So I definitely think that we did a good job practicing and hiding it and waiting. Like all season, we were like, we're not gonna play this until we get to the championship game, and we brought it out, and it got us a victory. So that was definitely huge.
Now, just a quick question for you guys. Being that you guys have shown so much success throughout this entire league, how much of that success do you think is based around that solid communication and leadership, rather than just your raw talent in the game?
I think a large majority of it. And it's not to say like we're golden children and we don't run into our own issues and have disagreements during fights. But I think that you can really see the gel that we've developed over this season in that game 5, where we have the ability to call out a comm target and that target just gets deleted with our ults. So it's not. There have been growing pains, a lot of them actually, and there have been times where we don't agree on something at all. But I think when we take a step back, realize that we're a 5, we get along, we communicate throughout the day, talking about strats and things like that on Discord. That all comes together and allows us to do some pretty cool stuff. Like I said, specifically that game 5, we're really happy with that. Game 5 went exactly the way we thought it was going to go.
I definitely think that A, we have the best player in the division in JTR, and then B, we have the best tank in the division. So that also allows me and Sheepfoot to kind of play and fill whatever we see on the other team. Mostly I play mages, but I mean, game 5, the whole time we were like, what are we going to take on this? And then we went full dive comp. So definitely a big shout out to Lincoln and JTR, because they hold it down for us.
Yeah, we call them the Brothers Grimm, because it's nasty. If they get on your back line, that's going to be all she wrote. They're going to tear you apart.
Now, moving forward, the game on Infernal Shrines, that was a game that you guys were definitely down and out, pretty far into that game, based upon just the fact that Toronto was able to get so much value off of a lot of those combos and a lot of that poke damage. How did you guys muster that courage to be able to just, or muster that resolve to be able to come back into it and just say, hey, we're not going to go out without a fight. We're going to put our foot down and just rub it in your face?
Shit, we won that game?
You guys did. You guys shit on them in that game.
Yeah, I think that is that the game where did they get mid in that game early?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we just started making them burn their ults, and every time we saw them,
that was it. Yeah, no, we baited the shit out of them.
Move.
Yeah.
We were trading low cooldown ults like the Cocoon, and just saying we didn't get any value out of it. We can pull back, and we played patient.
Yeah, that's a
lanes
lot
well.
of what that was. Once mid keep went down, our comms call started to be our values top, and then we realized that they were going to try to close us out, and they started really blowing long CD ults that we were able to counter with our shorter CD ults, and we ended up catching. I remember that now. We ended up catching Uther out, and they had to blow all of their ultimates to get him out of that fight, actually, which allowed us to counter back mid.
Yeah, I saw that, which is funny because he actually had redemption available. And
Yeah.
We said that's what's the first thing we said, guys, is he needs to go down. And I know we've been calling shout outs to JTR and Lincoln, but DB in comms would be telling us at that instance, if the roles are swapped, DB would be calling out immediately, let me die, I have redemption.
Yeah, let me die and counter engage.
Yeah, that's the first thing we said. Is I was sitting there and I'm like, I think he had redemption up.
They also ate that living bomb really hard on that map.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
They-
they allowed us to stretch that out.
They never let me play the KT, and on Shrines I was shocked they let us have it.
I mean, this is obviously not to shit on Misfits. Like, they've been our best scrim partner.
Those guys are so
we're
good.
better because of them. I mean, we think that we're not just the two best teams in Division C. I think we're just the two of us are just an order of magnitude, I think, above the other teams. And that's not to shit on the other teams, but it's just we've put in the most work. You know, you see Misfit and us going in and getting scrims week after week and really pushing ourselves and finding kind of new strats. And hopefully you'll see some Div T teams pick that up and make their way up to Div B on the next rotation.
I'm excited for that.
I've got 2 more questions for you guys, and I'll let you get back to celebrating your guys' evening. This one's specifically for Sheep. Sheep, as a captain of this team, when you guys have lost a map, you guys never lost a map and didn't come back and immediately win the next one, which is something that is pretty rare for a lot of teams in a best-of-5 series. What do you say to your team to get them back into that mode of, hey, we just got to win this next one?
I think we do a good job of it, especially when we're constantly reminding each other to just stay focused. I think we generally say a lot, but I think a lot of it is just I try to always be calm. And I think a thing that you'll hear me saying cons a lot is where can we get value, even when we're down. I said it several times on towers when we were down 1 or someone got picked or you know there's only 3 of us up. Where can we go get value now, just to try to bring a certain level of calm and get people beyond a mistake that someone else may have made and start to think about how we can turn this into a tactical advantage. And I think that that's kind of what we do in our losses is, okay, here's where we're going to go. Kind of just put that behind us immediately and start talking about, do we want first pick? Do we want map pick? If we take map pick, where do we want to go? What do we want to try to do on that map? And I think that everyone has always responded to that really well throughout the whole season. And I think that that's kind of what lets us do that.
Okay, awesome. Final question for you guys. What are your goals for next season?
I think it's probably going to be to win Division B, right?
You're going to have some tough teams, like Ready Button is a tough team.
Yeah.
They have to punch through. Watch
Ready
the finals.
Lurk
There's
Patrol,
actually,
right?
Lurk Patrol won't be around. We're going to take.
That's there.
We're taking a season off, unfortunately. We're going to take just some time off, but we'll see you guys soon, I'm sure.
I mean, as long as we have JTR, we're gonna win. I mean, that's just really what it comes down to.
Yeah, that's generally how it works, right?
I mean, the Dahaka JTR is just God mode, dude.
Why? How do we still end up getting that?
I don't know.
They had to ban Vikings because you guys showed that you
The god tier
basic
Vikings.
enforced
The god tier.
Oh
Vikings.
man, they really upset our secret Vikings comp for Tower
And
Defense, right,
you know,
guys?
they ban KT a lot, which I mean, yeah, I'm comfortable on him, but I just don't know if he's worth a lot of bans on as much maps as they banned him on.
Well, it's a scrim advantage. It's a scrim advantage that we gained, and we knew that coming in. We knew, and again, as DB said, we love those guys. We have a separate Discord channel that we communicate with them about their games and our games when we're not playing one another. But I think that we knew coming into this that they were going to try to take the gray main and they were going to try to take the KT. And we knew for sure we've been punished so many times by their ability to engage off the Nubrax, so we knew we did not want them to have that no matter what.
Yeah, Jay Show is a god on that hero.
Yeah, he is on. It's unsettling to see him with an Nubrax and just he will tear you apart.
Yeah, if you watch the VOD back, that was mentioned many times.
Yeah, we did not want them to get that hero.
Well, awesome. Congratulations again, Misplaced Ults. That was an incredible best of 5 series. Again, you guys took it 3-2. And GTR, congratulations. And you've been awarded MVP of this, well, pretty much the entire division, just based upon that showing. So just, again, tune in later on for the finals for Division B and Division A. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And
I appreciate you guys shoutcasting our game.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That was a pleasure.
You guys have done a lot of work this year. We really appreciate it. It's made
you
the
guys
league
rock.
very fun.
Also, hail Satan.
Well, alrighty then. With that, again, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be taking a quick break, and then we'll be back with the Division B finals. Good luck to you, Rory. You'll be competing in those, and I'll be casting that as well. So for all of us here, thank you very much for watching, and stick around. Thanks for watching.